Imagine slipping into a car you can buy for less than your iPhone, a fully electric ride that's just 2.5 meters long and starts at only $7,000. But that's not all. This pint-sized powerhouse could force giants like Tesla to rethink size, price, and scale overnight. You're about to see how Japan's new micro-EV shatters every expectation, from unheard-of affordability to urban jungle agility, and why it might just rewrite the rules of electric mobility forever. Here's a challenge. What's the smallest, cheapest car you'd actually drive? Drop your wildest guess in the comments and get ready to have your mind blown. Design: the new kei-car style EV measures just 2.5 meters long, a full meter shorter than a Mini Cooper. In sprawling metropolises, from Tokyo's narrow alleys to Barcelona's labyrinthine lanes, drivers trapped in gridlock are now slipping into impossible spots like water through cracks. But that's not all Toyota's micro-platform leverages. Modular engineering, meaning assembly lines can churn these tiny EVs at scale with 30% lower capital investment. According to industry analyst Hiroshi Yamamoto, urban dwellers will rethink what a car really means. Space becomes a premium you can finally master. Reserve microparks first and turn compact into your competitive edge. Space unleashed. Imagine the ripple effect as city planners redesign streets for micro-EV lanes. Price point: at just $7,000. This electric runabout costs less than many smartwatches and matches an entry-level scooter's price. Suddenly, car ownership shifts from aspirational to budget-friendly, freeing up hundreds of dollars per month for essentials or fun. It gets crazier. Manufacturers tap into recycled battery pools and shared chassis parts, cutting production costs by 40%. Dual fact alert: 65% cheaper per mile, 80% lower maintenance than gas minis. This is the democratization of driving, says mobility consultant Carla Reyes. Run the numbers on your commute today and see annual savings spike. Budget revolution: expect even more aggressive pricing as rivals scramble to compete. Battery and range: how far can a $7,000 EV really go on a single charge? Surprisingly, its 15 kilowatt-hours pack delivers up to 80 miles, enough to cover 90% of daily commutes in major cities. But listen to this: charging from 20 to 80% takes just 30 minutes at public fast chargers, outpacing many premium models. That's 50 miles more than high-end e-bikes and 30% faster turnaround. Early adopters report weekend road trips with zero range anxiety. Plan your city routes within a one-charge radius to maximize efficiency. Range redefined. Battery innovation could push this to 100 miles by 2027. Charging speed: a commuter in Osaka shared that, with a standard 50 kilowatts charger, her Mini EV hits 80% in just 30 minutes. Drivers no longer need to build day-long charging stops into their schedules now. You can juice up between errands or over a coffee run. But listen to this: AI-powered apps map out the least crowded stations in real time, shaving precious minutes off your stops. Plan shorter breaks to maximize productivity while charging at public hubs and your home outlet. At an average of 20 cents per kWh, a full charge costs less than $3 cheaper than most coffee runs. Efficiency maximized: emerging 100 kilowatts urban chargers could have charge times by 2026, promising even swifter pit stops. Manufacturing scale: Toyota's new micro-platform reuses 70% of parts from its best-selling compact models. That modular approach means existing factories can switch to micro-EV output in mere weeks, boosting annual capacity by 50,000 units without new assembly lines. But that's not all. Supplier networks have adapted to, cutting component lead times by 25%. Joint ventures with Suzuki and Daihatsu pull research budgets and deliver parts across brands, accelerating innovation cycles. This synergy could have time to market for upgrades, keeping the micro-EV cutting edge. Leverage shared modules to slash production costs: 70% parts reuse, 30% capex reduction, economy of scale unleashed. Industry watchers predict cross-brand microlines will standardize by 2028, fueling global rollouts. Government: Support. Why is Japan offering $2,000 subsidies per micro-EV sold? That national incentive slashes the entry price to just $5,000, igniting consumer demand and easing budget constraints for first-time buyers. It gets crazier. Many prefectures tack on perks like free parking permits, city toll exemptions, and reduced registration fees. Corporate fleets can claim accelerated depreciation, cutting taxable income by up to 40% on EV investments. The national subsidy program runs through 2032, guaranteeing stable support for years to come. Tap into every rabbit to drive down ownership costs and reserve additional savings for upgrades. Incentives stack up. Expect similar multi-tier support schemes in South Korea and Taiwan as they race to electrify urban transport. Consumer reaction. The first batch vanished in just 48 hours. Buyers snapped up every unit faster than concert tickets. In city feeds from Tokyo to São Paulo, users share jaw-dropping clips of the micro-EV weaving through alleyways and squeezing into impossibly tight spots. But that's not all. Reservation sites overloaded, forcing extra server capacity overnight. To handle the frenzy, act fast. Secure your booking with refundable deposits before the next wave opens. Viral sensation. As influencers post weekend test drive vlogs, mainstream media declares it the must-have urban upgrade. Demand skyrocketing, competitive threats. Established EV giants scoff at microcars as toy projects, and that's exactly why they should worry. Legacy brands rely on high-margin crossovers, but this $7,000 disruptor shifts consumer focus to affordability and efficiency. It gets crazier. Startups are now racing to file patents for similar ultra-compact designs, igniting a patent arms race. Monitor competitors' moves and explore micro-EV partnerships before market share evaporates. Adapt or die. Future mobility belongs to the bold, who rethink scale, safety, and regulations. It meets full global crash standards, despite its tiny 2.5-meter frame-reinforced steel cages absorb impact like a cocoon. Regulators once doubted micro-EVs could pass side impact tests, yet this model aced UNCAP protocols with a 4-star rating. But listen to this: upcoming software updates will enable automatic emergency braking calibrated for low-speed urban collisions. Check with your local authority for homologation timelines and ensure your model runs the latest firmware. Safety assured. If you're as stunned as we are, hit subscribe now and stay tuned. Next, we'll reveal the wildest twist. Infrastructure gaps. In a remote village in Akita Prefecture, local officials have begun installing compact fast chargers specifically for micro-EVs. These plug-and-play units fit into former scooter parking spots, turning forgotten lots into electric hubs. But that's not all. Mobile charging trucks are on standby to bridge any last-mile voids. Map charging stops for worrying-free drives. By 2026, similar deployments will likely spread across Europe's rural regions. Profit margins. Despite its sub-$7,000 sticker, dealerships report a robust 10% margin on each micro-EV sale. That margin tops many luxury SUV rollouts, proving that low cost doesn't mean low reward. It gets crazier. Volume production slashes break-even time by half, boosting cash flow. Leverage volume for steady returns. Profit unlocked. Keep an eye on emerging micromobility ventures for your next margin play. Environmental impact. Studies show the micro-EV's cradle-to-grave carbon footprint is 40% lower than comparable petrol hatchbacks. That translates to roughly 2 tons of CO saved per owner each year, equivalent to planting 100 trees. It gets crazier. Upcoming solid-state batteries promise another 20% reduction in life cycle emissions. Factor emissions into your purchase impact amplified. By 2030, new chemistries could cut footprints even further. Export potential. Could Europe or Southeast Asia be next for Japan's $7,000 micro-EV? Demand in Manila's bustling streets and Barcelona's narrow lanes already outstrips local supply, signaling a global appetite for ultra-compact electrification. But that's not all. German importers have opened talks for EU-type approval. eyeing fleets of last-mile couriers and municipal services. Yet, 10% tariffs and varying crash standards remain hurdles. Innovative digital twin homologation slashes approval time by 30% and cuts compliance costs by 20%. Track upcoming EU rulings, partner with specialist import brokers, and position yourself at the front of the line. Expand your horizons, be a pioneer, import early to capture untapped markets. Future upgrades, explore battery swaps. Yes, you heard that right. For instant range resets, pilot stations in Yokohama, Osaka, and Fukuoka let drivers exchange depleted modules in under 3 minutes, bypassing slow chargers and minimizing downtime. It gets crazier. Analysts forecast a global swap network will have charger congestion by 2028 and per-trip delays by 70%. NextCharge Corp CEO predicts plug-and-play packs will retail under $1,000 each, making frequent upgrades budget-friendly. Scout local pilot programs, reserve your swap credentials, and join beta trials. Swap your habits. Embrace modular batteries that promise endless range. Industry warning. At a Tokyo Mobility Summit, Dr. Sato from Tokyo Tech cautioned, tiny EVs will cannibalize mid-range sales overnight. That stark forecast highlights how microelectric vehicles threaten established sedan and crossover segments worldwide. But listen to this: legacy automakers are already reallocating 20% of their R&D budgets toward ultra-compact platforms. Analysts at GreenDrive estimate micro-EVs could claim 15% of global EV sales by 2030, reshaping supply chains and dealer networks. Monitor your market share metrics and consider launching your own compact line. Protect your position. Adapt instantly or watch your revenue shrink. Hidden costs. Don't be fooled by the $7,000 sticker insurance premiums for micro-EVs often exceed those of compact hatchbacks by up to 15% thanks to underwriters tagging lightweight frames as high risk. Urban insurers impose deductible hikes for collision and theft, battery replacement surcharges for packs valued over $2,000, and traffic density levies in major cities, pushing annual costs $200, $300 above a gasoline Mini's base rate. And in Paris, some drivers reported quotes exceeding $1,000 per year for basic coverage, prompting them to ditch mainstream insurers. But listen to this: shop across national and EV-specific insurers, bundle home and auto policies, and leverage green vehicle discounts to slash premiums by up to 20%. Protect your wallet. An owner in Kyoto switched mid-year, pocketed $180 in savings, and experts predict micro-EV insurance rates will normalize by 2026. Compare now to lock-in low rates. Shared mobility tie-in. Micro-EVs are redefining ride-sharing economics, doubling revenue per square meter of parking space by fitting to vehicles where one once stood. In Paris and Seoul, ride-hailing fleets replaced sedans with micro-EVs and saw a 25% increase in ride density, shaving average idle times by 15 minutes per driver per day, boosting earnings, cutting customer wait times, and raising satisfaction ratings. But that's not all. It gets crazier. Operational costs plunge by 30% thanks to lower energy consumption, simpler maintenance routines, and reduced parking fees, making microfleets leaner than ever. But listen to this: partner with mobility platforms to lease or co-own micro-EVs, unlocking steady returns and sharing risk. A Berlin startup will deploy 200 units in Q4 with break-even in 6 months. Profit realized. Long-term outlook. The era of mega SUVs may soon be overshadowed by micromobility as urban planners prioritize space efficiency in city cores for millions of commuters worldwide. In Amsterdam's canal-lined streets, Mumbai's labyrinthine markets, and Bogota's steep hillsides, gridlock and pollution hamper commerce and quality of life, prompting policies that champion compact vehicles and discourage gas guzzlers. But that's not all. It gets crazier. Regulatory incentives across Europe and Asia now offer reduced tolls, dedicated micro-EV lanes, curbside fast charging points, and congestion charge waivers, reshaping streetscapes and cutting commute times by 25% according to a McKinsey study. But listen to this: engage with local councils to propose micro-EV pilot zones, secure development grants, and partner with charging platform providers. By 2035, micro-EVs could own 30% of city vehicle registrations, future-proof. From unprecedented affordability to urban agility, this $7,000 micro-EV has shown that small can dominate big markets. It's not just a car, it's a catalyst for rewriting city streets and reshaping industry norms. Next, we'll dive into how legacy automakers are scrambling to counter with their own subcompact challengers. Prepare for the ultimate showdown. Don't miss it.